Spooky. A boo. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. Don't even ask. I'm in a funny mood. Hello. So this is the start of a few videos all based around my favourite readathon of the year, Summerween. I'm super stoked to be taking part in Summerween again. I've been taking part for years now. It's one of my favourite readathons. It is a week-long readathon hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads. Oh, that's her name. I'm sure that's her name. I will leave her link down below and her announcement video for Summerween. I believe you can still get merch. I could be wrong, but this is like the vibes for this year. I have the t-shirt from last year. I have a few vlogs from last year. There's a whole vibe. But basically, it's a whole week in the middle of summer where we just read mysteries and thrillers and horrors. Because Summerween is a thing. We're currently in July here in the UK, and basically the heat is starting to set in. Now if you're not from the UK, let me just explain. The heat is very different. So yes, it's about 30 degrees is usually the highest. Why are my books falling? Christ. 30 degrees is usually the highest our temperatures get to in this country, but it is horrible. Horrible heat. It is sticky, it is uncomfortable, it's muggy, it's not the same as your typical heat in other countries, which is why we moan about it so much. I hate summer, and I'm ready for autumn, so bring on the Summerween vibes. Basically. So I'm really excited. We have 5 prompts which I have here on my phone, and I'm just going to basically try and pick out 5 books from my jar. 5 prompts from my jar, and in hopes that the book will match a prompt for Summerween. Now if it is something really out there and I just cannot fit it to a mystery thriller horror book, I'm not going to read the prompt. I'm just going to pick another one, because basically this alone is just my Summerween TBR. I have going to be recording a video literally straight after this, which will be my July TBR. Well, I don't care what I read. Basically, but Summerween is the gist we're going for this video alone. So I'll tell you the prompts. So we have 5 prompts. We have read a book in the dark, so I can literally read anything for that. Read a thriller or horror book. Again, I have quite a few options. Read a book with a night sky on the cover. That might be quite difficult. Read a book with 5 words in the title. Again, quite difficult. And read a book that takes place in summer. So once I've picked the 5 prompts and I have my 5 books, if there's any of these prompts I haven't fulfilled, I will pick a book for each of those that I haven't fulfilled, and I will go through them with you at the end, just so I do have a book for every prompt, because I care more about that than this jar. So yeah, let's get it going. I'm quite nervous, mainly because I really want these to fit Summerween. But we'll see. We will see. I forget these are in here. This doesn't help me. This literally does not help me. If this is a definition of how this is going to go, you have to add another book. So okay, so we're picking 6. But that's fine, because more options to pick books for the prompts for Summerween, and then just extras. And also, I always typically read a lot for Summerween. So we'll just see how that goes. We have, ooh, interesting. I'm gonna have to really think about this. So we have an author who deserves a second chance. I've read quite a few mystery thriller authors, Let me have a look and I will be back. Okay, I actually picked this quite quickly, and I've actually, I know it says I read a book by an author, give an author a second chance. Well, I've actually never even given this author a first chance, because I tried to read this book when it came out and I don't like it. So I basically am giving them a second chance, but I just haven't read anything by them yet. And that's The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Now, I know a hell of a lot of people enjoy this book and enjoy Lucy Foley, but I didn't. I didn't. I read up to about 100 pages, roughly, and I didn't like it. But I am willing to try again for Summerween. So, looking at Summerween... Night Sky? No. 5 words. The Guest List? No. Takes place in summer? I don't actually know. Let's read the synopsis. So, guests are invited to Cormorant Island. The stage is set for the marriage of Jules Keegan and Will Slater. The setting is spectacular. A planning what does that say? Malicious? Malicious. We're gonna go for malicious. And the atmosphere alive with nostalgia as the guests host the most golden of couples. Yet under the cloak of happiness, dark secrets begin to spill and old grudges surface, and the wedding cake has barely been cut when someone is found dead. As a storm unleashes its fury on the island, everyone is trapped, and the killer circulates among the guests. It starts with a party, it will end with a murder. I do think I will enjoy it. I just gotta push myself to actually read it. It's giving me, if you're in the UK, Death in Paradise vibes. If you don't know Death in Paradise, it is a BBC... Is it BBC? I think it is. BBC like drama, murder mysteries. Basically, they're on this island and different people die in every episode, and we have our main characters, who is like a main detective and a couple of police officers, who then solve each murder every time, and it's giving me those vibes. So we will see, but yes, we're going for the guest list. We shall put that there. Please ignore these. I just realised they're like in shot. These are like the books I need to read in July. So, spoilers, but there we are. Okay, well, that worked quite well. Book number 2 is Treat Yourself. I know exactly what I'm going to read for this, because literally just before I started recording this, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager turned up, and it's damaged. I'm really annoyed about it. I might take it back to Waterstones, but I haven't got time. So I might just keep it and like try and flatten it out myself. But Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This is Riley Sager's new release. Literally came out today, tomorrow, don't know, something like that, but I've got it. I pre-ordered it. I have no idea what this is about. I read my first Riley Sager last year, where I read The Only One Left. Loved it, gave it 5 stars. One of my favourite books of last year. So I'm gonna see how Middle of the Night goes, because if I enjoy this, I'm definitely gonna check out some of Riley Sager's backlist, because I know there's quite a few people really enjoyed, there's a few that they didn't, but I will be more invested. So, synopsis. The worst thing ever to happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. On the 15th of July 1994, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend Billy fell asleep in a tent on a manicured lawn in a quiet New Jersey cul-de-sac. But in the morning, Ethan woke up alone. The tent had been sliced open with a knife and Billy was gone, never to be seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has returned to his childhood home, still desperate for answers. Who took Billy? Every night he's kept away by strange disturbances on the streets, happening under the cover of darkness. Are they still out there? As he tries to piece together the truth, he realises everyone in the neighbourhood has their own secrets. Only one thing is for certain, someone here took Billy. This isn't a bad neighbourhood. These aren't bad people. Are they? I really am interested in this. It's reminding me of The Chalkman by CJ Tudor, where, yeah, you have some kids go missing when they're younger, and then when they go back to that town, they go back and then weird things start happening. They have very similar vibes to The Chalkman, so I'm really interested to read this one. And I believe Night Sky, yeah, so it's got a night sky on the cover, because obviously it's about weird things that happens in the middle of the night, basically. So it has got a night sky on the cover, middle of the night, 4, not 5 words. I don't know if it takes place in summer. Obviously it is a thriller / horror, so it does count for that. And I can always read it in the dark if I must, so I can count it for that as well. So at least I can definitely fit it into some prompts for Summerween. That's 2. We're doing well for fitting in mystery thrillers and horrors. And I say mystery thriller a lot because I haven't really dipped my toes into horrors just yet, but I do read a hell of a lot of thrillers more than anything. This one, okay, so this is an example of one that I'm not gonna read or use, and I will just put it back in the jar because it says a book featuring a dragon. I don't have any mystery thrillers with a dragon, so this is going back in the jar. That's an example. Let's try again. Number 3. Do you know what? That would have been so good for my July TBR, because Jade from Jade Reads is doing like a dragon, basically read dragon books in July kind of thing, and that would have worked well. Ooh. My brain tries to think before I've even like read you the prompt. So we have a book with a red cover. I'll have a look and I'll be right back. This was actually really easy. I had like 3 choices. One which is a book that I bought just because it was in someone's video and I thought, well, I'll buy that years ago. Another is because I really enjoyed this author's first book and I thought, I'll buy the other ones, I've just never read it. And then this one that I've chosen is a new release. Of course it is. And it is The Gathering by CJ Tudor. CJ Tudor is one of my auto-buy authors. No matter what she brings out, no matter what it is or what it's about, I'm buying it. I've pretty much I think I've got like 2 books left and I'm fully caught up on her backlist. I just love her writing. Her writing really hits with me. Like I get it. I'm yet to not give her 5 stars. I just love this woman. So I've gone for The Gathering. I believe this is interesting. Sorry, I just noticed Stephen King's blurbed it and he literally said, if you like my stuff, you'll like this. Wow, Stephen, I don't know if I like your stuff because you scare me with the size of your books. Oh, and also the Daily Mail has written Britain's female Stephen King. Maybe I should read Stephen King. We'll see. I'll read you the synopsis. In a small Alaskan town, a boy is found with his throat ripped out and the blood drained from his body. The brutality of the murder chillingly echoes a killing from 25 years ago. Out-of-state detective Barbara Atkins is brought in to assist the sheriff, Jensen Tucker, who's investigated the original case. However, the inhabitants of Dead Heart believe they know who is responsible. One of the nearby Vampire colony who live in an old mining settlement deep in the mountains. Barbara is under pressure to authorize a cull of an entire colony, but the evidence doesn't stack up. People are lying, and more Barbara and Tucker delve into the Dead Heart's history, the darker the secrets they uncover. Time is running out for Barbara and Tucker to find the truth. As the snow thickens and the nights grow longer, another teenager goes missing and body parts are found. Are they hunting a cold-blooded murderer or a bloodthirsty monster? And which is more dangerous? Vampire vibes. I love it. She hasn't actually really done like supernatural plots before, so this will be interesting if it is actually vampires, or if it's a murderer. We'll see. But I'm quite excited to read this one. You can't beat CJ Tudor. I also read her new release for Summerween last year, The Drift, and I loved that. That was my shit. So it could be for a book I read in the dark, could be for a thriller, kind of night sky, but I probably wouldn't count it. 5 words, no. That 5 words in the title is going to really mug me off. And take place in summer, I don't think it does, as far as I read from the synopsis, but it might do when I've actually read it, who knows. But I'm really excited to read this one. We're halfway because I had to add one. So number 4, got an orange, and it is, oh shit, Jesus Christ, a book with 3 or more people on the cover. I'm gonna have to have a gander. I'll be back. Quite disappointed. I've checked. I've got basically where you're sat. I've got all of my mystery thrillers and horrors that are on my TBR, and I checked the cover of every single one because I didn't want to read this book, and this is the only one that's got more than 2 people on it. It's The Island by Adrian McKinty. Now, it's not that I don't want to read it. Well, no, it is. It's just there's more books on here that I'd rather read than this right now. So this is from the author of The Chain, which I read The Chain probably not last year, actually, probably the year before, and I loved it. It was really, really good. And this is the reason I bought this, because I thought, well, I really enjoyed The Chain, so I'll probably really enjoy this, and it was signed. So I bought it, but as you can see, it's got 4 people. Wow, 4, 7 if you want to count the shadows, but yeah. So we're going for this, but that's okay. At least I was able to actually count it. So synopsis wise, it was just supposed to be a family vacation. A terrible accident changed everything. You don't know what you're capable of until they come for your family. Bloody hell, their synopsis is massive. So, after moving from a small country town to Seattle, Heather Baxter marries Tom, a widowed doctor with a young son and a teenage daughter. A working vacation overseas seems like the perfect way to bring the new family together. But once they're deep in the Australian outback, the jet-lagged and exhausted kids are so over their new mom. When they've discovered remote Dutch Island off limits to outside visitors, the family talks their way onto the ferry, taking a chance on an adventure far from the reach of iPhones and Instagram. But as soon as they set foot on the island, which is run by the tightly knit clan of locals, everything feels wrong. Then a shocking accident propels the Baxters from an unsettling situation into an absolute nightmare. When Heather and the kids are separated from Tom, they are forced to escape alone, seconds ahead of their pursuers. Now it's up to Heather to save herself and the kids. Even though they don't trust her, the harsh bushlands is filled with danger and the locals want her dead. Heather has been underestimated her entire life, but she knows that only she can bring her family home again and become the mother the children desperately need, even if it means doing the unthinkable to keep them all alive. It sounds good, but it's just, I don't know, sounds like Lost in a thriller aspect. Like, I don't know, we'll see, but it counts. It will count for a thriller. I might read it in the dark. It's only got 2 words in the title, so no. Might take place in summer, I don't really know, but here we go. I love how we're just going for hardbacks. I've literally got 4 hardbacks. Oh, I'll leave it there for now. Okay, number 5. I apologize if you can hear the wind, by the way. It's really windy today. Yesterday it was really fucking hot, and then today it's like wind. Okay. We have start a new series. So for this I am going to go for The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, mainly just due to the fact that this is really hyped. It is now a series. It's got 3 books in the series and everyone seems to really like it, so I was like, okay, well, I want to get on this bandwagon. This was lovely gifted to me by Claire from Claire's Creative Corner. Love her. I'll leave her link down below, her booktube, which then you can access everything else. We're also doing a book club together, for her book club. We're doing a book together in September, or August, and then the live show's in September. So definitely go and check her out, so then you can stay up to date and you can join us. But yes, The Housemaid. So I will read the synopsis to you. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house. I collect their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina Winchester makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband seems more broken every day. But it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, but she soon finds out, and by the time I realise my bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. I'm really actually quite excited to read this. I read like a couple of chapters in the beginning of June, and at the time I just had a lot going on in my life, so I put it down. But I am excited to continue because what I did read I was really intrigued by, so happy days. I'm well excited for this. And the final one, okay, last one. Ooh, get off. I'm going for this one. We have got, oh, we're going for colour themes apparently. We've got a book with a green cover. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, so since I've got quite a few big books on here, I've gone for one that's a little bit shorter, a little bit easier. I've gone for Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus, which is, I think, a release from, I want to say 2 years ago. Or maybe even longer than that. Nope, 2022, so 2 years ago. I do still really enjoy Karen's book. Mainly because I don't really do YA fantasy anymore, but YA mystery is still my shit. This one is just a standalone, so I will read the synopsis. So, 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose School following the shocking murder of her favourite teacher. The case was never solved, but she's sure that the 3 kids who'd found Mr. Larkin's body know more than they're telling, especially her ex-best friend, Trip Talbot. He's definitely hiding something. When Bryn gets an internship working on a popular true crime show, she decides to investigate what really happened that day in the woods. But further she dives into the past, the more secrets she finds. 4 years ago, someone got away with murder, and now it's time to uncover it. So I'm actually quite excited actually reading the synopsis, because I do really enjoy like the podcast element, or like true crime show element that they seem to be doing in a lot of books now. So yeah, quite excited to read this one. So I had a little bit of a Google just to have a look to fulfill the 2 prompts that I wasn't able to fulfill with that TBR, which was a book based in summer and a book with 5 words or more in the title. So for 5 words or more, I have got 2 options. So I've got The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman, which I'm really excited to read, and also really fucking nervous because the amount of people that have told me they cried in this, and obviously it does feature old people and currently that is a trigger for me. So whether I will actually read this or not, I haven't fully decided yet. I am still really excited to read it, but I have recently lost a grandparent and it might just hit a bit too close for home, but it is an option. And the other option is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which I think will be the one I go for, just because it doesn't have any triggers. But also this is on my summer TBR, so it does just get that off of that too. So I think I may go for this one. And then books based during summer I had to Google because I didn't know, and so I have The It Girl by Ruth Ware, I have I Found You by Lisa Jewell, and I have Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. So I'm gonna stick all 3 of these like in my cart, and the same with None of This Is True and The Last Devil to Die. I'm going to put them all in my TBR cart, so depending on what I want to read at the time, I can just choose. So if I am in the mood for this, I will read it, but no guarantees. But based off just what my jars picked for me, this is my Summerween TBR. I've got some really exciting books on here, like 2 of my most anticipated releases of the years on here, also like a really hyped up book beyond my TBR for ages, book that I'm not looking forward to, but that's fine. We still got some really exciting books on here, so I'm really excited to read these for Summerween next week. I'm so nervous but excited at the same time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe if you are new, and leave me a knife emoji down below. Let me know if you've read any of these, or if there's any books you recommend me for the prompts for Summerween. I'd love to know. And I will see you all very soon for another video. Bye bye.